Heather says Ian doesn't play fair.
He chooses sports over sex. I even had to get cable TV so he would come over to my apartment more often.
So we found her a guy who only plays co-ed sports.
I like to get a little touchy-feely with her.
After Ian plays around,
We talked about football.
with an athletic blind date,
I'm a lady, not a man. I think your arms are as big as Ian.
will things work out?
You need to hit the gym a little bit more, though. Those arms are looking a little...
Or will they have a change of heart?
I'm a lady, not a man.
Welcome to Change of Heart. This is the show where couples who've reached a crossroads in their relationship voluntarily go on one blind date with someone new. So let's meet our couple. Now, they can't even agree about how they met. Here's her version. She says that he spilled his drink on her. His version is that she spit on him. Well, honestly, whatever happened, the truth is that they've been sipping drinks and swapping spit together now for the last 8 months. So please welcome Ian Hunter and Heather Johnson. Now, you guys are on the show because you're starting to disagree about more than just how you met. Let's go back to the beginning, though, Ian, and talk about when you first met Heather, what that was like. What you noticed first?
What I really noticed first was that she had really nice toes. You know, it was the summertime, and, you know, people wearing open-toed shoes. And a lot of times you see people with, like, bumps and crust all on their feet and stuff. And her feet were really well manicured. Plus, she was dressed really well, and she could hold a real good conversation.
I would not have guessed toes, but that's okay. Heather, and being in the relationship with Ian, what's it like being his girlfriend?
Wonderful. Ian is very sweet. We've been together for several months, and we're together every day, and there's only been one time where we were together for about 4 days, and it was hard, but...
Must have been really painful.
Great.
Right. Now, Ian, as far as the relationship goes, does Heather lay down some rules for you?
Yeah, well, she never gives you any guy time. So it's like, you know, after basketball, if I want to go out and drink with the fellas, then, you know, she just never gives me that time. She don't want to sleep together if I go out with the guys.
No, if you go out with your friends, stay out with your friends, call me tomorrow. You know, I'm out with my girlfriends. You know, I'll see you tomorrow.
Right,
we don't need
so if it's a boys' night out, forget about the booty
night
call
out
later.
all night.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Now, Heather, what about when Ian decides he's going to stay home with you? What's that like?
Oh, sports all the time. He chooses sports over sex. Would you choose this over sports? Come on.
Why does it have to
all
be,
the time. It's always sports.
Why does it have to be either or, though? Why can't you have both?
No, I should come
know?
first.
Well, you'd like to have the what? You're going to have the game on while you're having sex, or what?
Look, I've
No,
tried the
I have to
other
wait
route,
till
though.
it's
I
over.
bought her lingerie that's still in her drawer with the tags on it. So,
Well, if you would watch sports all the time, you know, if there'd be time for me, I'd put it on. I even had to get cable TV so he would come over to my apartment more often.
No.
Yes, I did.
Ian.
She had to get cable TV.
Okay, so you're
I
watching
never
your
had
sports.
cable.
What about afterwards? Does she ever cook up nice romantic dinners for the two of you?
Heather can't cook.
I can cook. Ian, I know how to cook.
Her idea of a romantic meal is like grilled cheese and tomato soup.
But it's good. But I'll clean it all up when you're done cooking, right?
Oh, yeah.
You cook, I clean everything.
All day long, I work. I'll drive to the grocery store. I'll drive 40 miles, come over to her house, cook it like on Meals on Wheels. And you know, what thanks do I get for
You're the
that?
man.
He's a
All right,
good
Heather,
cook. He's a
wait,
good cook.
another subject is exes often come into play in relationships. Does Ian keep track of his exes?
Definitely, and they keep track of him.
Oh, really?
For instance, no, he was on a business
That's not
trip
true.
in Baltimore, on a business trip, and his ex-girlfriend called me during that time to let me know they had slept together.
That's not true.
I had to get the
She was just trying to get back at me
together.
because she wanted to get back, and I said no, so she was like
But that
trying
was
to...
his friend. If that's
I
your friend,
see.
she wouldn't do that.
So you're saying she's a
Obviously,
little
something
psycho.
was going
No,
on.
definitely. That's her
Okay.
nickname, actually. My friends call us that.
Psycho. All right, Ian, what about other things from the past that may interfere with the relationship? Anything with Heather?
Heather, like, she carries a grudge all the time. She never lets anything drop from the past.
Well, that's too bad. If you treat me right all the time, I wouldn't have anything
But I'll be
to-
treating her right. But I'll be treating her right. We'll go for 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, I'll be like, you know, what's wrong, babe? She'll be like,
Well, yeah,
remember
like
back in October when you said
But
this?
we're
And
here
I'm
in
like,
LA, and
like,
he's
what?
telling me where he took his ex-girlfriend. We went here to dinner. Let's go there. Let's go here. I took
That
her
is
there.
not true.
All
That's
you've talked
not
about is
true.
her the whole time.
I've never even mentioned her since
Heather?
we've been
All right, so you got a problem with the exes. Besides that, what else bugs you about Ian?
Disorganized. I am such a planner. I schedule everything. I take care of all the plans. He just flows. That's what he calls it. He just flows.
And that
He
gets
just-
on your nerves, or
Yes.
that disturbs you?
Late
or-
all the time. Christmas dinner. We get there, they're already done with drinks, sitting down for dinner.
I'm late all the time 'cause
Valentine's-
it's always on me. I'm the one that's on the go. You know, I have to fly from Baltimore to Chicago, drive 80 miles to her Christmas party. She's mad 'cause I'm 15 minutes late. Well, she just sits there like in the castle and just waits for me to do all this work to get to her.
You're the queen.
Yeah, I am a queen.
All right, Ian, so with all of these things going on, why do you think now is a good time to come on the show and date somebody else?
Because I think that, I think Heather takes our relationship for granted. And I think that if she were to go out with somebody else, she'd probably really appreciate, the things that I do for our relationship and what kind of relationship we have.
All right, well, we'll see if she derives that appreciation by the time we're done here. It seems that Ian and Heather see things a little differently with their relationship. Now, when we come back, we're going to meet the people they dated, and we'll find out if they're going to stay together or have a change of heart. All right, welcome back. We are here with Ian and Heather. Now, Heather says that Ian prefers sports replays to foreplay. He always shows up late, even for the Christmas party, and is way too friendly with his ex. So he matched her up with a dark and tall, handsome guy who's prompt, passionate, and really poo-poos staying friendly with his exes. Please welcome Jeff Morgan. Hey, Jeff. How you doing, Ian, let me start with you. How do you think Jeff and Heather would spend Super Bowl Sunday?
From the looks of it, you might want to spend it shopping for some new clothes.
Heather, tell me what was the first thing you noticed about Jeff when you met him?
Oh, we talked on the phone, and he was also a jock in high school, but once he heard my voice and we talked, no more sports. It was all about me. All about
Sports
me.
went right out the window. All right, and Jeff, where did you guys meet for the date?
Actually, she came to my house about 9 in the morning.
Starting out early.
You go to his house, right? You won't come over to my crew. We were going snow skiing. So she shows up. She has this nice little cute navy blue Nike outfit on. Long blonde hair over it, and a nice cute ass, too.
I like that. And so, Heather, your first physical impression of Jeff?
Very nice looking. He was clean cut and dressed very nice and ready to go. Unlike Ian, he's always late and not ready to go. And it's somebody I would look at if we were out at a club, definitely.
All right, so that's a good start then, I guess. All right, now, Heather, have you been skiing before?
No, never.
Were you
Neither of us
prepared for
have.
this then?
Not really. I got to his house. I didn't know how warm to dress. So I said I only had one pair of socks, and he ran to his room, and he said, no, you need more than that, and he gave me some of his socks.
It's all about layers.
Yes, layers. Real sweet. Real sweet.
All right, so he's being really helpful then, I guess, right out of the box.
Yeah. And then we got to the snow to go skiing to the slopes, and I couldn't get my boots on. So he got behind me, and he got down, and he was
From behind, you're pulling the boots?
Yes.
Okay.
Make
I'm
sure
just
they're nice
having a
and
moment
tight.
with that picture. And Jeff, then once you got on the slopes, what about her skills there? And she needs some help?
Well, actually, I made it a little bit more worse than it was. She was really pretty good, but I like to get a little touchy-feely with her, so I tried to help her a little more than she needed.
I kept falling down, and he would be right there to help me up and make sure I wouldn't fall back down.
It's kind of like that instructor's license to...
Exactly.
Yes. So, Heather, there you are. I mean, a lot of things are going on out there, and you're on the slopes. Could you tell, though, that there might be some attraction?
Yes, a lot of eye contact, a lot. Every time I looked at Jeff, he was looking right at me, never worried about anybody else. Ian's eyes tend to wander a lot.
But Jeff focused on you.
They were focused all on me. All on me.
So he's helping you on the slopes. He's, got you the socks and the whole bit.
Yes.
Was he as helpful the rest of the night as the date went on?
Yes, he took me home to get ready for dinner, and I didn't have the right thigh highs. So he said he would stop at the store and get those for me.
You're just so helpful.
That's right.
So
That's
he
right.
did.
So, Heather, he comes back with nylons. Did he come back with anything else?
3 long stem red roses.
Three?
Beautiful. 3.
What happened to like a dozen? What's up with 3? Is that 75%
I like stuff
off or
short and
something?
sweet. I like them short and sweet.
Now,
That's right. That's right.
Jeff, we know you've been helpful through most of the date since you bought her nylons. Were you helping her also get dressed?
Actually, I helped her pick out her dress.
So you were in the bedroom, in the closet there?
In the bedroom, in the closet, going through her wardrobe, and she had several dresses, needless to say, and she had a lot of long ones and everything. I chose the one that's high thigh.
And Heather, while you're hanging out with Jeff, did you get a chance to find out if he's friends with his exes?
Yes, actually, he has one friend as an ex, but they broke up years ago, and they don't. When they do talk, it's about her boyfriends and not about the two of them.
I see. A little different than with Ian's
No
experiences.
feelings
Not
anymore.
about their past. It's about their futures. And
So, Heather, here's Jeff. He's being really sweet and helpful the whole time. But during the date, did you ever think about Ian?
yes, I did. When we went to dinner, Jeff was a gentleman all night, but when we went to dinner, I had the short black dress on, high heels, and I had to walk a couple of blocks to the restaurant. And Ian would have dropped me off at the door.
Well, you got some points, Ian.
One's better than none.
All right. So you had a walk to the restaurant. You had a nice dinner, I hope.
Yes,
and then
very
afterwards,
nice.
did what?
Actually, Jeff likes to dance, like myself, so I took him to a few clubs. Ian doesn't like to dance, but Jeff and I danced all night, real close, and had a real
close.
good time.
Everybody's
Oh, what's that, Ian?
it looks like everybody was stepping all over his shoes when he was there.
Yeah, is that
Now, Ian, here's a girl that likes to go out and dance and have a good time. Why don't you take her out?
I take her out all the time, but
No dancing?
I don't dance a whole lot. I'm
He's
kind of
at
like
the
sit at the
bar
bar, drink a little
drinking.
Jack and Coke.
Yeah.
I'm pretty relaxed.
Yeah.
But I'll go out there with her from time to time.
Watching the deuce.
Once in a great
All
while.
right, so there you are. You guys are dancing. You said it got close. Just how close did it get?
Real close, Chris.
And Heather, could you tell he was enjoying himself?
Yes,
was it that
he
close?
was.
Real
Yes, he
close,
was.
Chris.
Okay.
He enjoyed it.
So, Jeff, the night's coming to an end then, I guess, at some
Right.
point here. How did you wrap it up?
Actually, we decided to leave the club. We go back to my place. We just kind of had a nice little romantic, soft kiss to end the night. Nice gentleman thing to do, I thought.
All right, so
Sweet.
it was sweet. Okay, well, it's good to know it ended on a sweet note. Was Jeff's help getting dressed and goodnight kiss enough to give Heather a change of heart, though? We're going to find out later. Next, we'll meet the woman that Ian dated, and we'll hear what happened on their date, so don't go anywhere. We are here with Ian and Heather. Now, we just heard what happened on Heather's date with Jeff, and now we're going to meet the woman that Ian dated. Ian complains that Heather holds grudges, holds out if he goes out with the guys, and holds up a big old empty skillet because she can't cook. So we matched him up with a freewheeling, forgiving woman who cooks in more rooms than just the kitchen. Please welcome Sherri Zander. Hi, Sherri. Welcome. You know Ian. And Heather, I guess I'll start with you. Do you think that Sherri gives new meaning to the joy of cooking?
She looks like she has the joy of eating a lot more than the joy of cooking.
No, it's about working out, frumpy one.
Looks like you could use much
So,
as
Ian, was Sherri ready for the date when you picked her up?
No, actually she wasn't. I told her I was going to be there at 10, and I showed up, and she wasn't ready. I waited in her kitchen for about an hour.
How does it feel?
She came out. When she came out, she was a little disorganized. It came out with these 3 big bags. And I was like, where do you think, we're going to Chicago. It's like, not Chicago, Spain.
Yes, Sherri, 3 huge bags. What was in there?
Well, I had my gym bag, and then I had an additional bag, like my evening bag with my clothes for dinner, and then I just had like my handbag, like a purse. Just, normal,
They travel heavy
normal day
sometimes.
stuff.
All right, so Ian, once you got it all together, how did she look?
Oh, she looked great. I mean, look at her. I mean, she's got great arms. She works out, takes care of herself, and she has great legs. Great legs.
Oh, I don't have great legs.
You got good legs.
Yeah.
So you liked what you saw then, I guess.
Yeah.
So, Sherri, there you are at the apartment, I guess, buzzing around trying to get ready. Were you checking out Ian, though, and getting a good look?
Yeah, I mean, he looked good. I mean, he's real fly. He dresses real good. He's got good style. I mean, I was very impressed. I was looking for that 100% prime grade beef steak.
All right, so finally you guys get started. Ian, where did the day trip start out?
Well, first we went to a pistol range.
A pistol
little different.
range.
It was a pistol range. It's something a little different, something she'd never done, and it was a good way for I can, get my arms around her and kind of show her how to work the pistol a little bit. Of course, the instructor had the same idea, and he kept coming over and flirting with her also, trying to move in on my date.
Yeah. So, Sherri, there's the instructor flirting with you at the pistol range. Any other distractions that came about?
Yeah, one major one. Heather kept calling, and I think she was trying to
one time.
check up on him a little bit. I think
one
she was
time.
trying to bust up my game a little bit.
Heather,
Got no
wait, Heather, what's up with that? You knew he was out on the date. What are you calling him for?
Well, to make sure
Insecurity.
He's doing... No, not at all. Not at all.
To make sure what?
I know what he's doing and
Oh.
where he is. And
Ian, you said one of the bags had gym clothes in it, right, Sherri?
Right.
Did you guys head to the gym then for part of the date?
Yeah, that was part of my strategy. I knew she liked to work out, and I know you don't wear a lot of clothes at the gym. So
Right.
I tried to tie that in a little bit. and kind of let me check her out up close and personal a little more and get check those legs out a little.
Now, Sherri, we heard that Ian's fascinated with sports, always obsessed with that. Did you notice it while you guys were out?
Yeah, that's real cool because I'm like sports fanatic. I'm like sports freak. We talked about football, basketball. He's like a male version of me.
Yeah. So that worked. You were okay with that?
Version.
Yeah. Now, Sherri, one of the things we heard about Heather from Ian is that she holds a grudge. Are you like that?
No. I'm like this. You talk about it and you move on. I don't dwell on little piddly things like.
And bring it up weeks later. Ian, all these bags she had packed, was there food in any of them?
Yeah, which actually was very nice. She baked me some awesome cookies. White chocolate, macadamia nut cookies, some marble cookies, chocolate chip. It kind of reminded me of what it's like to have a woman that could bake.
Those were the ones he offered to me, and I didn't want them, so he took them to work and gave them away.
All right, Sherri, let me ask you something else that Heather talked about. She said if he has a guy's night out, she ain't putting out. Would you be like that?
No, I think that a guy should have like his own life, have nights to go out with his guys, because I need nights to go out with my girls too.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, you come back together. I mean,
No, because when I go out, I like to stay out.
Guys
all night.
out is
I don't want
guys
to have
out.
to eat. Thank you.
Guys
All
out
right.
is
Now,
guys
Ian, you
out.
said
all
Sherri
night.
was a bit disorganized when you first showed up. What about later on in the date? Did that continue, that theme?
there were like 4 times during the day that she needed her ID, and there were 4 times she couldn't find her ID. And finally, like when we were going to the club late at night, again, we like stood there for like 10 minutes while she was looking
A
for
little
her.
spacey.
But I'm organized, so.
All right, so Ian, there you are at the club, and were you guys hanging together, or were there some friends?
What was actually pretty cool was that, she ran into some friends she knew, and I ran into some friends I knew, and there wasn't like any insecurity or uncomfortable feelings. I mean, I talked to my friends, she talked to hers, and it was just cool. It wasn't like all up in you, like, who's
Now,
that?
Heather
Why
would
you
have been a little
talking to that
different in
person?
that situation?
Oh, she'd have been like, oh, why are you talking to that girl? Why, what's that guy talking about? How come, just...
Because he worries the same way. If he sees me on the dance floor with another guy, he's out there right away, like, who's
And
this?
he
That's
doesn't
because
even
she's going like
dance.
this.
Oh,
And you don't
no.
even dance.
She's like, come on, help me out.
Not
Because
at
some
all.
dude like there be out doing some kind of crazy Pee Wee Herman stuff, So help her out.
Sherri, what time did everything end? What time's your date wrap up?
About 3 o'clock, and then we left, and I fell asleep in the truck on the way home. And when I woke up, Ian wasn't there. I was kind of scared for a second. I turned around and I saw him on the payphone, probably checked in with Heather.
Oh, you must be a really sound sleeper. You're in the truck asleep. He gets out. You don't hear nothing. You're left there.
Right.
Sherri, did that phone call affect the end of the date?
Yeah, I mean, her intrusiveness was a little bit
He was calling
distracting.
me. I
It
wasn't
was,
calling him. He got off
She
the
was
freeway.
there.
He got off the freeway
you
to
don't know
call
what
me.
would have happened if
Make sure I got home
her
okay.
intrusiveness didn't, enter into the...
Well, let me ask Ian. Ian, without those phone calls, do you think more might have happened?
Who knows what would have happened? I mean, it's just, like I said, it created a real kind of like a little bit of tension there that it kind of spoiled the mood a little bit.
Yeah, put a little damper
What
on
were you
things, I
trying to
guess.
get?
Okay, will Ian and Heather have a change of heart during the break? They have to make that decision. Now, we're going to come back and find out what they decided, so come back with us. It's time for the big moment of truth because during the break, Ian and Heather each made a final decision about the future of their relationship, and there's no turning back now. Will they stay together or have they had a change of heart? You guys came on the show because you thought you were taking each other for granted, and you thought maybe you could learn to appreciate each other a little bit better from this experience. Ian, we're going to start with you and get your decision first. You said you wanted to date somebody that had some kitchen skills, that could cook you up some meals. Definitely somebody that was going to let you hang out with the boys and not make that a problem. And somebody that wasn't going to carry a grudge for weeks on end. So we sent you up with Sherri. You guys seemed to have a nice date. It got off to a little crazy start. You went to the pistol range, though, afterwards. You guys did some working out in the gym. You went dancing, had dinner, had a good time. At the end of the date, though, a little damper with the phone calls and Heather getting in the way there, I guess. But, Ian, it is your decision. What do you say?
Well, the reason why I wanted to do this because I think that Heather, she doesn't really appreciate the things that, what we have. Sherri is, we share a lot of things in common. She likes to work out. I like to work out. I think we had a real good time. But Heather and I have a great history together. She's got a great heart, and want to stay together.
So you say stay together. All right, Ian. Sherri, sorry things didn't work out for you. Now, Heather, you said you wanted to date somebody that wasn't going to be obsessed with sports and totally focused on that. Somebody wasn't going to keep in touch with his exes like Ian does, and that bothers you a little bit. And somebody that could be maybe a little more organized and somewhat follow a schedule.
Yes.
So we hooked you up with Jeff.
Yes.
You guys went skiing for the first time, had a new experience there. He brought you some roses and nylons he went and got for you. You guys went dancing, which you can't do with Ian. It ended with a really nice soft kiss. Ian does say he wants to stay together, but Heather, what do you say?
Jeff is really nice. We had a great time. I liked having somebody's attention on me and not on the TV and sports. And Ian has a few things that we could improve on, but I'm definitely staying together.
Okay, stay together for you too. Jeff, sorry things didn't work out for you. There you go, nice big kiss. Well, Ian and Heather, hopefully you will appreciate each other more now and can get through some of these things and have a better relationship for it. That is our show for today. Thanks to Sherri and Jeff. Good luck to Ian and Heather, and we'll see you next time right here on Change of Heart.